What is up, everybody? Luke Filmboss here, and today I'm going to be talking and reviewing about The Sound of Freedom. This is a very sobering, very thought-provoking movie, and I'm so glad that it is doing incredible at the box office, at least compared to most movies with this budget, with this studio. Angel Studios is the one that decided to release this movie because Disney Fox would not. They refused to release this really good movie, and it's doing really well. Like, people are showing up. There's like other metrics that are like maybe boosting the sales a little bit more, but like honestly, most people do not like this. Many people usually don't go see faith-based conservative films like this, and yet somehow it's doing a lot of business. So say about that what you will, Hollywood. This movie is very successful, and it's also very good. It's got a good balance. This is a very dark, very sensitive topic. It is a movie about a cop guy, like investigator. I'm not sure if he's FBI, but he he chases down pedophiles and sex traffickers, mainly child sex traffickers, um, and takes down these pedos. And it's a really just heart wrenching job for him. And so he decides, after he ends up saving one of these child like trafficked victims, he realizes that's what he wants to do, not just taking down the the bad men that are doing this to them, or even the bad women, but he wants to actually save these children from the situation. And he's been restricted because most of these children are not in the United States. So he goes overseas and he goes on this operation, and things happen. I don't want to spoil it because it's really good, but basically he goes on this mission to save this little boy's sister. They were both sent into sex trafficking, which is so it's a dark movie, but it's full of hope. That's what really makes this movie good. I'm not going to spoil how it ends. I don't want to go in too much, but this movie knows when it needs to be dark. It is not exploitive. It gets the point across. Like, yes, these children were really horrifically just abused and kidnapped and all these things, but then like they don't show it. They don't feel the need to show it because you don't need to show it. People understand. Like, they show a little bit of the violence, like in the kidnapping process, like the kids getting put on in the crates and onto the boats, and the men like taking them and yanking them around to transport them and stuff. But it doesn't show, like, the graphic disgustingness of their acts, and yet you just understand how bad the situation is. Like, you understand through the conversations, through the reactions of the children. Like, how bad this situation is. And so, but the main character, he just doesn't back down. He is going to save these children. He's at any cost. It's either going to be his life or theirs. He's going to save them, or he's going to die trying. And it's good stuff. It's just an inspiring movie. Basically, it's just about how we as Christians, we as anybody, should not tolerate the slavery and the abuse and the horrendous acts that are going on in the world, because God's children are not for sale. And that's something that the main character says. That's basically the premise of the movie, like the message. God's children are not for sale. So the whole thing is a big old march to say, let's fight to end sex trafficking. Let's fight to end child trafficking. It's terrible stuff. And the movie is just, it pulls it off so well, so sensitively. So it's a really well shot film. There's this really good beginning shot, and the ending shot is basically a mirror image, and it's so satisfying. It's so good. There's some good stuff in this movie. Once again, it shows the evils of the world, but it also shows the hope. There's hope in this movie. And while there is stuff that just makes you think the world's so bad, like, how can there be hope? There is still good to come out of this movie. I don't want to spoil how it ends. Like, the ending is edge of your seat stuff. It's very much so. It's not exactly an action movie. There is action in it a little bit, but not much. It's more so, it's just a drama suspense film, and it works so well. It's so character driven. It's the dialogue is good, and you just get a lot of emotionally impactful, character moments with, the main characters and the kids, the main characters with some of the other adult characters that he's working with. Like, there's some good stuff here, and it's just very mind opening, very thought provoking, eye opening film. And I think anybody should watch it. Like, don't make it a political thing. These are children. Children are being abused across the world. Why would anybody try to keep somebody from watching this film? Because it's sensitive, because it's actually got something to say, because this is a movie that might actually impact somebody's like life, the way that they think. It's a good movie. I would suggest, if you are anybody, go see this movie. It is a good film. It is a very strong, powerful film. It impacted me a lot. I would recommend going to see Sound of Freedom. I am Luke Filmboss, and I give Sound of Freedom an 87% in quality and 89% in enjoyment for an overall score of 88%. And when I say 89% in enjoyment, it's not necessarily that I enjoyed it, but I go into a movie looking for emotional satisfaction, looking for something that intrigues me, something that keeps me invested. So it's not exactly like a fun entertainment, but it kept me intrigued. That's what I mean by entertainment value. So, Sound of Freedom, it's a really good movie. Go check it out.